Geceleri vardım bu hale farkında. Ne sevdiğini farkında. Ne sen bunun farkındasın ne de polis farkında. Ne sen bunun farkındasın ne de polis farkında. Polis farkında. Polis farkında. Polis farkında. Farkında. Farkında. Polis. Polis farkında. Farkında. Farkında.
Saat kaç? Biri geçti mi? Daha değil. Normal değil. Normal değil. Normal değil. Ben bir müzisyenim. I am a musician. My parents didn't want me to be one. Ailem benim müzisyen olmamı istemedi. They wanted me to get a real job. Benim gerçek bir işim olsun istediler. They were right. Haklıydılar. Being a musician isn't seen as a real job. Müzisyen olmak gerçek bir iş olarak görülmüyor. Neden? Why? We serve, hizmet ediyoruz, and we earn money. Para kazanıyoruz. It's a real job. Bu gerçek bir iş. O zaman niye? Then why? Then why? Why? Why? Why? Why? Why? Why? Why? Isn't it seen as a real job? It's suffocating. Boğuluyoruz. It's suffocating. It's suffocating. Ben bu ülkede rahat bir nefes alamayacak mıyım?
On the 1st of June, Turkish musician Hakan Altan posted a video of himself online, calmly cutting the strings of his oud with a pair of scissors. Above the video in block capitals, he wrote the words, "Do you know what I mean?" Many others on social media imitated him, cutting the strings of guitars, ouds, bağlamas and other instruments. The gesture was made because of mounting anger over the impoverishment of the music scene in Turkey during the COVID-19 lockdown, the feeble offering of support from the Turkish government, and the imposition of rules restricting performances. Many musicians believe that the latter have been arbitrary and motivated by a desire by the state to interfere in people's lifestyles. Last Monday, speaking as he outlined the gradual loosening of his country's lockdown rules, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that live music would return after a long hiatus, but that restrictions would remain on music performed after midnight. "If you don't mind, no one has the right to disturb anyone at night," he added.
Bu çerçevede tamamı da 1 Temmuz itibariyle başlamak üzere sokağa çıkma kısıtlamalarını tümüyle kaldırıyoruz. Müzikle ilgili sınırlamayı da daha ileri bir saat olan 24'e çekiyoruz. Kusura bakmasın. Gece kimseyi rahatsız etmeye hakkı, kusura bakmasın. Gece kimseyi rahatsız etmeye hakkı, kusura bakmasın. Gece kimseyi rahatsız etmeye hakkı, kusura bakmasın. Hakkı, kusura bakmasın. Hakkı, kusura bakmasın. Hakkı, kusura bakmasın.
The move provoked outrage. Few saw it as stemming from a genuine public health need, but rather a further attempt to erode personal freedoms in Turkey. Musicians and activists began posting the hashtag #WeDoMind on social media following the comments, which, many noted with grim irony, were issued on World Music Day. Compared to some of the restrictions that many across the world have faced since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, rules preventing the playing of music after midnight might seem fairly tame and not worth contesting. But for musicians in Turkey, each restriction placed on their livelihoods is just one small part of a bigger conflict that is cultural and political, even existential. Figures released by the Turkish Musicians and Performers Union last September claimed around 100 musicians in Turkey had already taken their own lives since the beginning of the pandemic, as the lockdowns and lack of support made earning a living from what they loved impossible. In April, musicians dressed in black staged a symbolic funeral in the capital Ankara.
We do mind. We do mind. We do mind. We do mind. Kusura bakıyoruz. Kusura bakıyoruz. Kusura bakıyoruz. Kusura bakıyoruz.
Which is arguably the country's national instrument and widely used in pop, folk, and rock music. Shortly after the ban was announced, he posted a video of himself playing on a bench at night.
sıra bakıyoruz.
The song, Where is the Devil in That? Was written by folk poet Ossip Dirtli in the 18th or 19th century and is a fierce satire on religious leaders at the time who saw playing the bağlama as sinful. Urbaz sees echoes of the era in modern-day Turkey. The government is trying to change the lifestyle of people, he told me. They want to ban and restrict music by evaluating it within the framework of a conservative and nationalist concept. The worst part is that it is not a suggestion or statement of opinion, it is a restrictive legal regulation, he said. Like many musicians in Turkey, Urbaz struggled to keep making a living in his profession during the lockdown. I was looking for a job for 8 months and could not get into many jobs just because I was a musician, he added, with employers concerned that his profession would mean a lack of permanence. He pointed out that despite restrictions, numerous large-scale events were held by Erdogan and the Justice and Development Party, AKP, without social distancing and proper regulations, while cafes, venues and bars remained closed. Thousands of artists were unemployed due to unnecessary and ridiculous measures during the pandemic. The government took advantage of the pandemic precautions to suppress progressive, revolutionary, democratic and socialist people in the country.
Şeytanların burasından, şeytanların burasından, şeytanların burasından, şeytan bunun burasından, şeytan bunun burasından. The devil is right here. The devil is right here. The devil is right here. The devil is right here. Right here.
With anger mounting at the continued ban on live music, the rock band Red on the 7th of June staged an outdoor gig in Istanbul's Mecca Park, defying the restrictions. Despite the presence of police, the performance came off without incident, but the band said they were still frustrated at the climate in the country. It was not a concert. We picked a public place intentionally. It was a kind of guerrilla event to protest the situation. We did it because somebody should have done something, said lead singer Doğan Duru on behalf of the band. Any art form is political or needs to be political, said
Any art
Duru,
form
who
is
previously
political or
tweeted
needs
that
to
he
be
had sold
political.
2 of his guitars to pay the rent during the pandemic. We thought after our Mecca Park that
Any
maybe
art
some
form
other
is
musicians or
political
bands
or
would
needs
follow
to
that
be
act,
political.
but as far as we saw that the only action came from Levent Üzümcü, he added, referring to the famous Turkish actor who staged a similar
Any art
protest to theirs. As
Art
an
form.
established act, Red were able to
Political.
ride out the pandemic, but others found it
Any
more
art form
challenging. It is not difficult.
needs to
It
be.
is impossible. There are a
Any.
lot of people who get money
Any
only
art
when they
form.
work in the music business.
To be
Roadies,
political.
sound engineers, session musicians,
Needs to be.
etc., said Duru.
Needs to be.
Those people don't have any
Needs to
other
be
income from
political.
the government or
Any art
anywhere
form.
else. There is no
Any art
union or
form.
association for them.
Any art
We thought
form.
about that for 1.5 years.
Any art
Last
form is
week,
political.
Marie Takahashi, which translates as woodpecker, and a group of
Any.
fans gathered at
Art
Mehmet
form.
Bey's Park
Art.
in Istanbul's Kadıköy district,
Form.
following the
Art
announcement of an impromptu concert on Twitter in
Needs to be.
specific defiance of the new midnight rule.
Needs
Not
to
long after
be.
arriving at the intended site, Agam Khan and
Any
audience
art form.
members were detained by police and fined for violating
Needs.
lockdown rules.
To be political. Needs to be any art form, including music. Needs to be to be.
With everything driven by tensions between secular and religious communities. Kenan Bazat Sharp, a freelance journalist whose work heavily focuses on entertainment, music and culture in Turkey, pointed out that one of the key, often stated goals of Erdogan and his government since coming to power in 2002 had been to try and establish cultural hegemony and raise a pious generation that would be more socially conservative and religious than previous generations. The problem, however, he said, was that outside the areas the state has direct control over, such as in education, state media and religious institutions, there were fewer people who were willing to lend their aid to that goal. There is a kind of tradition of the major novelists, directors, musicians etc. being either left-wing or liberal, he explained. And there are people like Orhan Gensbey for sure, who support the government, but as a whole the sector tends to be liberal rather than conservative in a lot of cases, much like in the US. He also said that the music business also often overlapped with other sectors that the government was naturally antagonistic toward, such as the alcohol industry, which has been hit hard by a ban on advertising and eye-watering tax hikes in recent decades. The ban on alcohol advertising was definitely the nail in the coffin for the festival industry, said Sharp. Though restrictions are being relaxed, the entertainment industry will still struggle to get back on its feet, and the damage already done to the careers of so many artists is incalculable. They have been doing this for a long time, slowly but surely. That decision is also political like the others, said Duru. But this is not only about musicians' lives, it is a public situation that interests all the people's lifestyle. So people who are not involved in the music business also should say something about it.
Say something about it.
So people who are not involved in the music business also should say something about it.
Say something about it.
Say something about it.
Say something about it. Say something about it.
Say something about it.
Say something about it. Say something about it.
Say something about it.
So many people said, well, they just do a job. But I think the talent of musical works and the national television commercials and the stages upon which I perform and the audiences that come to see me would disagree that I should just quit and get a job that gives me health care.
Having diabetes made it difficult for Patrick to find an affordable primary care doctor in Austin. He was paying several $100s a month for coverage in the state's high-risk insurance pool.
Say something about it.
Say something about it.
Really struck home when these walls hit us how precarious our existence was. You know, okay, was like a month, we're fine. 2 months, we're okay. Maybe a month, 3 months. Oh, how are we going to pay rent?
Say something
Say
about
something
it.
about it.
In order for me to earn an annual minimum wage of $30,000, I need to gain 6 million streams at the average royalty rate of half a cent per listen. That's unattainable.
Say something about
Say
it.
something about it. Say something about it. You should say something
Say
about
something
it.
about it.
Say something about it.
Yaklaşık yarım saat kala arkadaşımız valilikten bir yetkili tarafından aranarak yarınki konserin yani bugün konserin valilikçe yasaklandığını söylemiş.
Say something about
Bununla
it.
ilgili herhangi bir gerekçe telefonda dile getirmemiş. Yasakların aynı zamanda bütün bu işlerle uğraşan bizleri ve emekçi dostlarımızı ve organizasyonda çalışan arkadaşlarımızı hepimizi mağdur edecek bir kültete dönüştürmek amacıyla son dakikadan
Say something about it.
düşünüyoruz. Ve bu çok art niyetli bir yaklaşım olarak.
Say something about it.
Yapılan yasaklar bu kadar meşru bir zeminde yürü olması çok iç acıtıcı bir şey. Yani çok temel bir hakkınız birileri tarafından işte konuşabilirsin, konuşamazsın, konserini yapabilirsin, tiyatro oyunu oynayamazsın. Diyarbakır'da yapabilirsin ama İzmir'de yapamazsın. Yani bunu
Say something about it. Say something about it. Say something about it. Say something about
karşıdaki bloğu böyle çözmeye yönelik bir girişim olarak düşünüyorum. Türkçe ana dilimiz, biz bunu konuşacağız. İşte şarkılarımızı da söyleyeceğiz, oyunlarımızı da oynayacağız. Bunu yasaklamaya girişebilirler ama anlatacağız. Bunun hiçbir fayda getirmeyeceğini tekrar anlatacağız belki duymayan kulakları.
People who are not involved in the music business also should say something about it.
Bu kadar galiba.